Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kyrus Has Friends, the show where I sit down with the people that matter to me the most, and those people are my friends. Before we get to our special guests today, if you're interested in following me on any of my favorite platforms, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at The Vibe with Kai. You can also follow me on Snapchat and I guess TikTok if it still exists by the time that this airs. You can follow me at Kyrus Keenan on TikTok and on Snapchat. And if you want to, you can visit my website, thevibewithkai.com, where I'm always posting things that'll help you do good, feel good, be good, and live a good life full of good vibes. But enough about me and my craziness and my TikToking and my Snapchatting and Facebooking and Instagramming. I have a special guest today, my good friend, who we just established I have not seen in person in over 2 years, and I think is it because I smell like I took a shower? I don't understand. I'm sitting here with my friend Anabelle Garcia, for whom we go way back.
We do.
We go way back, and then I guess one day I didn't take a shower, and then you're just like, I'm gonna go 2 years without seeing this person ever again.
Yeah, I did decide to cut ties. I couldn't handle it anymore. And instead of having like a grown-up conversation with you about it, I just said, I'm gonna hide. And
I'm the same way. I'm 10 years old, so it's fine. How are you, Anabelle Garcia?
I am so good. I'm so happy to be looking at your face and seeing you. And I can't believe how long it's been. And I'm thinking it's not, we go way back, but also we're getting kind of old. So it's like we do go way back, but also we met when we were younger and now we're just old.
I know. So I'm 33 now, Anabelle. And I feel like I'm 33 going on 64 because I was never into naps, but now I'm like, naps are great. I want to take a nap. I want to take a nap right now. And it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon, not even in the afternoon. It's not even afternoon yet. I'm ready to take a nap.
Well, you're on that early schedule, right? So if your nap is at 11 a.m., that means your dinner's at like 4 p.m. So that sounds about right.
Sure, we'll go with that. I'm also just old. How are you doing in this pandemic quarantine life? What is going on? How is life? How are you doing?
I think I'm doing pretty well. I would definitely say I feel like I'm grateful for how I've been doing, I think.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
In terms of like emotionally, it's just so bizarre, right? It's such a weird it's a weird feeling. I think things like I keep having this experience where if I see like ways that people have gotten creative with like how they get together or how they like make the most situation, my initial reaction is, oh, how sweet, oh, what a cute idea, oh, how great. And then immediately after that, my feeling is like complete sadness. Like, wait, how sad.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a weird balance where it's so because it's like, why we're in this situation, but I'm glad that you're making the best of it. It's weird.
I know it's so like, because like, you know me, like I'm always trying to like find like the silver linings in everything that I do in any kind of situation. But it's hard. It's hard, knowing that like at the end of the day, I have to like stay inside, and we can't do the things that we're so used to doing. And maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Who knows? But you're to your point. It is like sometimes we get hit with this overwhelming sense of just sad disappointment and anger and frustration and all of that. So even with that being said, you've always been somebody that like had a smile. I've always seen you smile, and your smile is probably one of my favorite things about you. So what do you do when you find yourself being like, what do you do to kind of like just bring yourself up to that next level of happiness? How do you find it?
I wish, it's nothing, it's nothing. Well, I guess specifically to this situation, I feel like it's nothing that's going to help anyone else. It's like very basic stuff. Like I've definitely retreated to, we got Disney Plus. So I've been like loving kind of exploring that a little bit. That's always my
How many times have you watched Hamilton?
You know what? Only once.
But I've watched it 7 times. Is that bad?
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. You do not have a problem.
Thank you for not judging me.
I actually think that's on the lower scale of like how many times people have already watched it. So I think you're good.
That's fair.
like almost guilty for only watching it once. Like, why have I not seen it once?
I'm taking your musical theater card, Anabelle.
Honestly, I feel like I need to hand it in. I know the soundtrack like by heart. Like I still
Right.
listen to it like on like just to get me through like a work
Of
day or something
course.
like that. But I'm so familiar. I haven't seen it live, and
Yeah.
so this was the first time I'd seen pictures of the
Hmm.
production, and I kind of knew what to
Yeah.
expect. Oh my gosh, I was just like, I just
So
loved
good,
it.
right?
And it's so good. It made me so happy, and especially I was kind of surprised. Like I'll be honest,
Yeah.
it was a slower build than I expected because again,
Yes.
I know the soundtrack, and like the first
Hmm.
20 minutes, honestly, and I hope this isn't
Hmm.
controversial, I was like, I don't know, I don't know how
Sure.
I'm liking it, you know.
Sure. Hmm. No,
Um,
that makes I understand exactly what you mean. Yes. Hmm.
because I was in awe of the performances. First of all, I
Yes.
was like, how are they doing this? It's so
Right.
hard. It's so fast.
It
It's
was
so
just
many.
well directed, well choreographed, well acted, just like from beginning to end. And I'm
Yeah,
like, how are these people like doing this?
it,
Like
it,
how?
yeah.
Every night,
And we've done
eight
it,
performances a
right?
week?
Oh
Like
yeah.
I could barely do that for like 3 performances a weekend, let alone 8 performances a week.
I just had a flashback to our times doing South Pacific,
Oh my gosh,
and like
dude.
you had a pretty busy track in that show.
Yes, and on top of that, while I was doing South Pacific, because Brian, no, not Brian, the director Jess Duhini
Yeah,
directed it, and uh, her because Brian choreographed it,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so Brian choreographed it, and so he had asked me to come be a part of it because they needed more guys or whatever.
yeah.
So while I was rehearsing for South Pacific, I was also playing the leading player in Pippin,
That's
and
right.
I was exhausted during that show. But the friendships that I made from that show, like lifelong friendships that
Right.
I've made during that show, like and you being an example of that.
Yeah, that's the first.
Like
That's where we met,
even to
right?
this day, even though you tried to get rid of me, I'm back. And now and now what year was that? What that was
I cannot believe how long ago it was. I believe it was 2013, maybe
no way, really?
2012, maybe. It was
I
a
guess
long.
that does make sense, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I don't want
Oh,
to reveal the age I was during that
oh
show,
my
but
gosh.
I'm pretty sure that's, yeah.
Hey, Annabelle, you remember theater? Remember when that was a thing?
Uh, so
Remember when people used to gather and do that stuff?
I honestly, yeah, talk about a bummer. Talk about like the moments of sadness, right?
I know.
I was like, I went to this thing last night
Hmm.
that they're doing at the Navy Yard, like that
Okay.
drive-in that like it's like a I think they're calling it like Philly Social or something like that.
Okay. Hmm.
Basically like it's like a drive-in movie, and I think they
Right.
are doing movies. But what they did last night was it's like a drive-in experience, and they actually
Okay.
handed you like sanitized like headphones, and you
No
plugged
way.
in to the show. And I was sitting there, and I was like, I think this is how theater can happen again. Obviously, it's like
Right.
less. Like and the Navy, like the field of the Navy Yard is huge.
Right.
So like there were a ton of cars there, and everybody was in their cars watching this big screen,
Right.
um, and listening. And I was like this could maybe work. Like
Yeah.
obviously, like, we need
Yeah.
to find more fields, and I don't know, like every theater
Right.
can't do that, but I'm excited to see the creative ways that we
Oh,
do
sure.
like start figuring out how to do it. Because yeah, I mean, don't
Yeah,
you miss it? Like, how are
I
you?
do.
How are you doing without it? Honestly.
So here's the thing. So I actually have not performed since September of 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, so because what happened was the last show I was ever in was Rents. I did Rents up in North Jersey, and I had directed 2 shows after that, but I ruptured my Achilles, so I couldn't walk, I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything. I had ruptured my Achilles, and when you rupture your Achilles, that's a year recovery. So I ruptured it in October of 2018, and I didn't perform at all in 2019, like at
Oh,
all, outside of like doing maybe like a cabaret here or there
yeah.
or something. But like I didn't do any shows, and so I was finally going to do. I was in 2 shows that were supposed to open up this past couple of months. I was doing Parade that was going to open up at Kelsey, and I was doing Big River that was going to open up at Broadway Theater Pittman.
Two great shows.
And
Amazing.
yeah, and both shows got canceled. And so like, so I have not done a show since like been in one. I've directed, but I haven't been in a show since September of 2018. It has been a long time. I've never gone this long. It's insane.
It's so hard, like it's because it's
Yeah.
part of you, and it's part of like it's part of what makes you happy, and
Yeah.
like as performers, it's such a huge piece
Yeah.
of just like your well-being,
Yeah.
honestly, in addition to just so many
Right.
other things. Yeah,
Right.
it's so
When was
hard.
the last time you performed like on stage?
So my last like musical
Yeah.
was 3 years ago at the Ritz with Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
When you
but
played Belle.
when I played Belle, yeah.
I mean.
I was like, what? Why did you just say it like that? What's the hair toss? Please.
That's staying in. I don't make cuts here, so that's staying in. But just for anybody watching, Annabelle's one of the most humble people in the world. She is humble. She's incredibly sweet. Listen, when she signs off, I'll tell you guys the real deal. I'm kidding. No, Annabelle's one of the most humble people like ever. So you don't have to worry about that. You're good.
Keep my hand down.
Wait, so that was the last time you performed? So that and wow.
That's the last time I've done a musical. I've tried to. Yeah, and it's tough.
Right.
And like, sorry, I just like tossed my pen. You can relate to this, like
Yes.
having a 9 to 5 and like finding, and your schedule's like wild. You are go 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 all the time, which is like so impressive to me, and like I think it's amazing.
I don't sleep. I haven't slept in 15 years.
That's the trick. Okay, maybe I can wean off sleep. I'll work on that.
Yeah, you see this bed back here. I haven't used it ever. It looks comfortable though. Looks great.
Need something to fill the space.
Yeah, right. It was an empty room. I was like, might as well throw a bed in here. Wait, so you haven't been in a musical in a while, but you have done other things like kind of in between. Which, to your point, you were saying it's hard because it's like we both work these like jobs where it's like normal like 9 to 5.
5. Yeah, exactly. So you try to like find stuff that you can. Well, it's and you have to be. I think you have to be really careful about your time, right? Because you don't. If you're someone like me who is sleeping a little bit, you don't want to burn out, right? So you want to find projects that are rewarding. That when you're going to be devoting a ton of time, because you'll be working, and then having that creative outlet like after work on weekends and stuff. You want to make sure that something, and not that it's never. I don't know that I have an experience I can point to where I'm like, that wasn't rewarding or that wasn't worth right? Like it's always
how do you go about finding that balance? So like in the prime of our lives as performers and 9 to 5ers, how did you approach your schedule, like so that you didn't overload yourself? Like was it hard for you to say no to things, or did you make it like an art? Like you're like, I can say no easily now. Like was it hard for you to find that balance?
I think for me, I think it's more about just picking what things I want to do as my as like my creative outlet, because when I do have that, if I am like working and then also like doing a cabaret or doing a show, I don't know that I find a great balance, right? I think I do, like I'm eating dinner in the car, I'm maybe not getting as much sleep, I'm racing from work to the theater or something like that, right? So it's more about just selecting like what it is that I am going to do, so that I and then you just like you get that adrenaline and you are like you have that happiness that it doesn't really matter that you're going, so you don't really and again, it's not like it's a every single day for a year you're like that, right? It's a period of time anytime you're working on a project like that. So it's just making sure that whatever I'm doing I'm loving, so that I don't mind that it's like you're kind of going all day and maybe you get a little tired and maybe you forget to eat, but it's like worth it because you're just
so when we get to a point that theater hopefully returns in some point, do you have the itch to go back and do something, maybe next year or the year after when things hopefully return to normal?
Always. Well, and even now I'm thinking, and I've seen people like do, which I think is so creative, and I love seeing this, like people are doing like virtual cabarets or like virtual sing-alongs, and I'm like now thinking like how do I do that? Like how do we do something, or how do we do like performance in the park? Like how do we figure out this like social, which obviously that's been for a very long time, but like how do we start doing it now in like a safe and creative way? But ideally, yes, like I miss just like the look and like the smell of like being
Yes.
like an old theater, right?
Yeah, and like people, I miss people saying 5, 5, and that's the end, like, thank you, 5. Like I miss little stuff like that right now.
No, no one
It's
says
so
that
much.
to me right now.
No.
Yeah.
What's funny is even at work, like somebody will like shoot me an IM and they'll be like, hey, we're gonna do this meeting in 5 minutes, and like in my head I'm like, thank you, 5.
But
Like I'm just like meh, meh.
and I flash back to like me like not even being anywhere close to in costume yet, still eating my dinner. I'd be like, oh, do
You're
I
like,
start?
oh, I guess I need to put my costume on. I guess
I
I
would
guess I
say
need to.
the
I guess I need to make that happen. I've always enjoyed my time with you because we've done a lot of cool things together. Like obviously we did South Pacific. We did that cabaret together.
Yes.
Which was so much fun, which my friends still like talk to me about because like it's like prominently on the YouTube,
The YouTube.
where people can see it, and I'm pretty sure I still have like a disc of some sort somewhere or something like that. That was so much fun being able, because I remember when we would come over to your house to rehearse, and I actually thought of you the other day because I went live on TikTok, and I played this game where people would have to say the name of a musical, and within like a couple seconds, I would have to sing something from that show.
Oh, fun!
And so somebody wrote West Side Story, and the first thing that came to my head was you. I was like, "Make of our hands one hand," and I was like, "Oh, I love that song." And I was like, I remember singing that among others, including "Baptize You" from from Book of Mormon.
Yes. Oh my God. You made me laugh so much during that whole performance. I broke
God.
like 4 times.
Oh my God.
I like looked over you. You're doing the funny. I mean, what you always do. You're such an incredibly talented performer.
Well, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna intersperse like a little clip of us singing. So ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick clip of Anabelle and I singing "Baptize You" from our cabaret. Check this out. And we're back. That was fantastic. How I'm gonna put in the clip there, because that's how we roll here.
I love it.
In the studio.
Hey.
That was so much. I remember. I I don't even think I kept a straight face during the performance.
It was brilliant.
Because at one point we're like throwing water.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. So instead of, well, and you think you had your water bottle like behind me, and you went and you like poured a little bit right in your hand, and like literally the time is, I thought it was like the most brilliant comedic timing. You're just like,
Well, because I don't think we actually practiced it with water until the actual performance. I don't think.
Yeah, we had limited prop resources, so we had to make sure it lasts.
Oh my God, that was so much fun. That was
really fun.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And then we've hung out a lot, because I remember we used to go to, there was this place in Doylestown, like this bar that we went to one time. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't either, which is really bad.
But we went there. And then we also went to get lunch in Philly. Was it like Devil's something? Is there like a Devil's?
Yes, Devil's Alley.
Yes, we went to Devil's Alley. Yes,
like 19th and Chestnut.
Yes. Yeah, we went there, and then we went to go see a stand-up comedy show.
Yes, that was so
we went to dinner, and I always beat myself up about that night. Do you remember why I beat myself up about that night? Because I didn't know that the restaurant we went to was BYOB. And so I was we get there, and I was like, oh, we can't even have a drink because it was a BYOB restaurant, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. But we went to go see a comedy show that night.
Yes, which was so fun. Yes. And I'm sorry if I scarred you from at some point if I said like, if I don't have wine I will bite your head off or something. He's like, oh no.
Oh my God, that night was so much fun. That was fun because we've done a lot of cool things together. But with all that being said, Anabelle Garcia, I don't understand, because after that, it was just what did I do, Anabelle?
Now, time out. I actually think our timeline is wrong. I'm thinking about this because I saw you in Ragtime, which was, well, I guess actually, no, that was also about 2 years ago.
That was January. It was before I got hurt. You know what? Still 2 years ago.
Still 2 years. Yeah, I thought
because it was before I got hurt. So that was January of 2018.
You were amazing in that show.
Thank you.
So good. One of my favorite shows.
I just did a you. I'm kidding.
We all have a little diva. We all have a little diva in there.
Yeah, that was 2.5 years ago. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That was 2.5 years ago.
Well, and it's like I think 2020 it doesn't count because I can't believe how quickly this year has gone. I thought
it's already August.
It's already August, and when I thought like we went, when we like I've been working from home for months now, and when it first started, I thought this is going to be the longest year ever. And March and April kind of were, right? It was kind of like April was like a decade. It was crazy. But once we got into May, and I don't know why, because like not a ton. I mean, some things changed, right? I guess like the weather changed, so maybe people were able to like do more stuff. But, like,
it would have been longer. I feel like if it was like winter time when we're like legit just like cold and miserable.
Yeah, but every time I look at a calendar, I'm like, today is August 1st.
Yes, today is August 1st, and it's. I moved into my new apartment the day that quarantine started. Like the day. It was like March 15th or something like that when the governor was like, all right, guys, shut it all down. That was the day that I moved into this apartment. So like my roommate and I, we moved into this big old, like this apartment's huge. Like we have like literally our own like wings, right? And we moved here because we both have a ton of friends, and we're like, this is like the ultimate party house, and we're gonna have like all these get-togethers and stuff like that. And then this, we may go an entire like lease with like us being the only people to ever see the inside of this place.
Oh my gosh. That's what best laid plans, right? That's wild. Oh my gosh.
I can't. Have you been able to vacation at all?
I was able to vacation. I did do a week at the beach, or down a shore, and
which beach did you go to?
OCNJ.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my Ocean City. Sure. Ocean City is my favorite beach in Jersey for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was nice. Like I think I felt perfectly safe there. Right, there were some things that maybe we didn't do that we would normally do. But you could go about it the right way. I think so. It was just so nice to like see the ocean, like smell the salt water, be outside, get kind of that like sense of normalcy. So I've been grateful for that because it's like. So many plans have been canceled, for so many people, and like, myself included, a couple of the different things. So it was nice to be able to kind of get to do that.
How has work from home been for you?
Work from home has been honestly great. Like we've been in terms of like productivity and like really good, like maybe even almost better, which like I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, no, I get that. I totally understand that. My team, because I head up the social media department at my job, and our productivity has gone up, and like since quarantine has started, and we're literally in the best position that we've been in since like I came on board. Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're in our daily meetings, and I'm like everybody's telling me that like what they're up to for the day, and I'm like, we're in a good spot right now. Like I don't want to jinx it, but like things sound okay.
Out there, maybe not so much, but like we are okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like how many like meetings you do, but and I know we're currently doing a Zoom call, but like fatigue is something I think I got over. There was a point where it was like I cannot. Yes, like on one hand, productivity is up, but also like with Zoom calls, it's so hard to multitask.
Yes.
It's so obvious when you're like, clearly not.
Yes, because I have my dual monitors, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm listening.
Exactly, and you're just staring. And I found that when we first started doing it, if we had like a large like team meeting, like I just couldn't stop just like looking at everyone because so weird. It's like Brady Bunch screen, and then like you start to get to know like backgrounds and pets and kids are coming in, and
Oh my god! But now it's at a point like the luster is gone. So especially if I'm not on a meeting with the client, so like I'll hit the little minus button at the top, and then like you'll just sit in the corner, and I'm just gonna continue to work. I don't need to see you anymore. Like I don't. I see you every day, and I think the words that I'm so like I've personally said a ton of times that I don't want to say anymore is things like, "Can everybody hear me? Can everybody see my screen?" You know, things like that.
You're on mute.
Yeah. You're on mute, or you'll be talking, and then people are like, and you're like, oh shit, sorry guys, I forgot to take myself off mute. Like
I have a double mute sometimes. Like certain meetings, I mute if I'm on my phone. I mute my phone. So then you're talking, you're like, I'm not on mute.
Right.
It's bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, it is.
We did a Zoom call bingo actually, just like that. We're like, for the day, like all your meetings, you could check off a box. Like, if you heard someone say, "Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? You're on mute. Oh, sorry, that's my dog." You know, stuff like that. Yes,
It's like it's crazy, just the corporate world. Because like you and I, we've both been like theater people that have work in the corporate world, and it's funny when people see me in my corporate element as opposed to like my theater element, because I'm always me, right? But like I feel like when I'm working, it's not like theater me, you know?
Right.
So I actually have one of the people on my team is somebody that I've directed in a show before, and so like they know me when I'm in theater world, right? And he pointed out to me, like he would come up to me sometimes like, "Hey Kai, blah 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 blah," about like theater or something, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, no, I'm working right now. Like this is not how it works.
Like, I have buckets, I have compartments.
Right.
You're in the wrong department.
Right. Oh my god. I can't. You always bring a smile to my face, Annabelle. I can't think of a single time in the many years that we've known each other. I can't think of a single time when I'm like, she doesn't make me smile. Like I don't know why I said it like that, but
you're the pirate.
Yeah, she does not make me smile. Like I don't know why. What is that voice? I have no idea what the heck that was. But you've always made me smile, and I think the fact that we can pick up right where we left off, even though you've been ignoring me for 2 years, and I'm kidding. We can pick up right where we left off, and like that makes me happy. How is your family doing?
Oh, they're so good. And in fact, I told my mom that I was going to be doing this with you, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, tell them I say hi."
Yes, please, and, like, please give her a big hug for me, and
I will.
Like, tell her I
she
hi.
misses you.
Are you still live in Bucks County?
So no, I've been in the city for a few years, but it's so funny, like talking about quarantine, like when the lockdown happened, it was like kind of eye-opening, because I was like, I don't think I can work from home here, just like in the apartment I was in.
Right,
like on my couch, didn't have a great like office setup.
Right,
so, and then like kind of the longer the work from home went on, I was like, ooh. So I actually am I'm in a weird in between right now, where I'm in the middle of a move, where I've moved out of my apartment in the city, and I have this weird limbo because I'm about to get into a new apartment a little bit outside of the city.
Nice.
So I'm excited for that. And it's similar to kind of what you were saying with your place. It's going to be nice to like host people at and have people over. But I'm hoping I'll be able to actually do that, because it's like I don't want to go a whole lease and just be like, well, you know, this was nice for me.
Right. Like, I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, I think other people would enjoy it too, maybe. But that's awesome that you get this new place. We have to definitely do some sort of like social distance like love here, because I would love to see it and catch up with you, and I mean, just say hi.
I would love that. Because it's like same here. Like you always make me smile. I always have so much fun with you. I feel like it's like talk about good vibes. It's like it's all good vibes. It's true.
Well, that legit that warms my heart, honestly, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day to speak with this young strapping lad over here.
Exactly what I was thinking. And I appreciate you having me. This was so fun.
Absolutely.
I told you at the beginning I was like a little nervous, and this was super, super fun. You're amazing.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know why you were nervous. It's not like we haven't talked before. This is
Well,
nothing different. You just film it.
I was worried you're gonna bring that pirate voice out, and you did. But
You know what? I actually practiced that in the mirror right before. I was like, I'm going to debut my pirate impression for Anabelle. I hope that she likes it. Well, on scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I was trying to think of like a quick pirate pun, but like no number rhymes with R. Like 11. I don't know.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you.
Me too. I'm gonna go back to the hint one.
I can't. I love you, honestly. Thank you so much for sitting and chatting with me. Like this is always a joy. And what people don't realize is that even if we weren't filming this right now, this is probably exactly how the conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly how it would have gone. Maybe like, a little legit. More pirate, but yeah, exactly.
There definitely would have been more pirates for sure. 100%. I'm going to work on my pirate impression since you're not impressed, but whatever. Everybody, this is my friend Anabelle Garcia. She is a good person, and I love her to death. If you want more Vibe with Kai, you can visit my social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Vibe with Kai. And you can follow me on Snapchat at Kyrus Keenan. And if TikTok doesn't get banned within the next 24 hours, then you can still follow me on TikTok at Kyrus Keenan. I appreciate everybody watching. Anabelle, I love you. And goodbye.
Wow, love you.